Welcome to Mr. Sou's Math World. Today we are going to discuss the standard score. So these are the original score of Mary in the examination, in the test. Okay, so in the test you can see Mary's mark in English is 65, which is lower than math. Then you may think, is Mary get better in math, or you get poor in English? So we don't have enough information. To do so, we need to have one more important information, which is the mean mark. So you can see Mary's mark is 5 marks higher than the mean, and then 6 marks higher than the mean. Is it also very clear that she got very good results? How about other things? But at least we know that all these two subjects she get the mark which is higher than the mean. But we still don't know whether she is on the very top or just lies in the middle of the data. But at least we know that for English she gets 5 marks higher than the mean mark. Math she gets 6 marks higher. Then after we know that she is above average, then we need to know how the other students perform. Then we will use the other thing to help us. So this time you are given the distribution of the marks of the classmates. So you see that in English, she is somewhere here. And math, she's 68. She also in the second bar, right? But you see that in English, the data are more closely, that means most of the classmates are having around 60 marks. And she gets 65 marks, her marks is much higher than the rest of the classmates. So these classmates are having lower marks compared to Mary. And then you see on the other way around, the red part, you get only a few classmates get better than Mary. So this is the lower diversion. Greater diversion, you can see that also quite a number of students are having weaker than Mary, but you see that the frequency of the marks which is higher than Mary is more. Okay, so this one you see in math, the dispersion of the class is greater, and you see more people is having better result than Mary. So also math. So when we look at the performance, we compare to the position of Mary in the class. So that means that she got better in English. Okay, so this remember the use of dispersion. The dispersion is used to get standard deviation. That means we can check which dispersion is greater or smaller by checking their standard deviation. So this is the thing called standard score. For the standard score, you will have the score here, but original score x is the original score. This is the mean mark. And then we divide it by the standard deviation to know the position of Mary compared to her classmates. For example, if you look at example 9.12, then you see there are some classmates here to stand for a test and go to interview, and then you can check the standard score of Mary. Then we can check the position of Mary following the position of this bell curve, and then we can check, relatively speaking, whether Amy performed better. So for this graph we will discuss later. Step 1. Write down the information so you get the mean and also the deviation. After that, write down the value of Amy's mark for the x to put it inside in the standard score formula. So you can get the standard score of Amy. So negative 0 point something, then mark maybe somewhere here. Negative 0.1 something, okay, lower than the mean. Similarly, you can also do it for the score of interview. So remember, you have always to use the original score to minus the mean mark and then divided by the standard deviation. So this time the standard deviation of this one is larger. Then this time you see that the standard score is positive 0.3 something. Maybe somewhere here. Alright, so you can see that by checking the position of Amy, you can use this method by checking the standard score. Then, when you check this one, you already know that Amy performed better in interview because her standard score is 0.384, which is better than the negative one. For the solution, just compare the values of the standard score. So standard score of interview is better than the standard score of written test, so she performed better in the interview. So please go to page 9.50. So this one is a very typical DSE question, which may be in conventional question. And which also it may be in MC. So this type of question is actually quite good to be done with because the standard score formula is not difficult to be used, and then it must be section B question because standard score is originally in section B. Okay, so for your reference, I've put the formula here. Okay. So why it is a kind of very good question in section B which is for us to do, because you get many informations and then you see standard score of Peter, you get 2, okay, and then for Judy is -1. Maybe use red for Peter and Judy for in blue. Okay, so you also get the height of Judy. Peter, we don't know, he is the tallest. And then we still are able to get more information. So Peter is the tallest. So that means his height is 190. So at this moment, you may still don't understand why it is a nice thing. Okay, so when you know these informations, so first, you can let the mean to be x bar and sigma be the standard deviation. So this is for part A. Then we can start to do the calculation. So we consider the standard score of Peter. So Peter's standard score is 2. And then it is equals to its score to be 190. Mean score we don't know. Divided by the standard deviation. And then to solve the equation quickly, usually we will multiply it first. This is 2 times sigma, okay? So you see x bar equals to 190 minus 2 times SD, 2SD. So this is part 1. And then for the other one, for Judy, -1 is equals to score 160 minus x bar divided by sigma. Negative sigma equals to 160 minus x bar. So we can substitute for the value. So after you substitute it, you get this line and then solve it. So you know that sigma equals to 10, which is standard deviation. Okay. So that you can solve it to get the value of the mean and also the standard deviation. And don't forget that we have units for the height, okay? So this is A. So right now we go to part B. So for part A, for mean and standard deviation, we will have the units to be CA. But for standard score, we don't have units. Because standard score means the position of the bell shape. So for this one, for the compared position, we don't have units for it. Okay, so please make sure that you understand it. Okay. Then for the standard score of the shortest student, then of course you find the lower score should be 140. And then just type the things in it. So standard score equals to 140 and then minus 170 as you find it in part A and divided by 10. So you get -3 of the standard score of the shortest students. In the real DSE question for section B, part A, this one is usually exactly the same thing. And then part B may be asked for some sort of MC, okay? In conventional question, the part B will be more difficult, but don't worry, we still have time to tackle them later. So, this is the end of the video of standard score. See you next time.